Now, that story is an extreme example of what happens when some high-risk sex offenders get out of prison and then come back into our communities. And it raises questions about who's responsible when they are released. Last month, many of you were outraged when this man, David McCusion, was released from a state facility on McNeil Island, where he was classified as a sexually violent predator. His release led us down a trail of public records, leading to what the Department of Corrections has called chaos in Spokane. KXLY4's Melissa Luck working for you now with how one apartment building has become a landing place for sex offenders. Melissa?
Yeah, Nadine, the story of who lives here in the new Washington apartments at 2nd and Washington is not entirely new. I actually did a story here 10 years ago about how offenders were being placed here. The state was placing them here itself. But last year, they stopped, and we wanted to know why. You wouldn't exactly call it the Chamber of Commerce section of downtown Spokane. High crime, high traffic, high volume of transients day and night. In the middle of it all, the new Washington apartments, the first step out of prison for hundreds of felons and sex offenders.
If I closed my doors, it would be like rats jumping off ship.
When I talked to Linda Wolf 10 years ago, her complex was revolutionary. The New York Times even wrote about it. Security cameras, locks on every door, and a no-nonsense policy for criminal activity. But fast forward 10 years, Linda's son, a sex offender, is now in charge.
They feel, welcome there because there's other sex offenders, so I think that's what is the draw to it.
Spokane Police Lieutenant Steve Wall has always known about the offenders here. He has a detective checking in on them regularly. But even he was surprised what our public record searches uncovered. First, a search of the Spokane Sex Offender Registry reveals 16 high-risk sex offenders living inside. Men convicted of preying on their own kids, on strangers, young and old, boys and women. Then, we requested a list of police calls here. Between October 1st, 2015 and October 1st of this year, people at this address called police for help 243 times, averaging almost 5 calls a week every week of the year. Even as we captured the video for this story, 2 people approached, asking us to call 911 on their behalf. Does that surprise you?
It does, that there's that many, but I guess what we've got to realize too is that that's not a police response on everything.
243 calls doesn't equal 243 crimes, but it's high for any corner of our city. The Department of Corrections says what's going on inside has put offenders themselves at risk. So much, in fact, DOC ended its 10-year practice of placing offenders here, citing bug infestations, security issues, and general disrepair. Last month, when a judge allowed David McCusion to be released here, the police department joined the chorus of law enforcement agencies saying no.
And so with downtown being highly populated with kids, with business people, we felt like it wasn't the best place for him. And so we did object.
Because he's still considered a sexually violent predator, McCusion has strict rules to follow. A judge granted his release only if the manager of the new Washington apartments agreed to monitor him. The state required security cameras, which at last check still weren't working a month later. DOC cites rampant drug activity and a previous manager who went back to prison for having sex with a developmentally delayed woman who lived inside. Then there's Peter Savala, who himself moved here from McNeil Island. He was last seen coming into the building May 15th. 5 days later, his body was found decomposing on his bed, surrounded by drug paraphernalia. Most of us could never imagine living like this. Guys like David McCusion have nowhere else to go.
People who are classified where he is don't get released into communities anywhere.
McCusion's release from McNeil Island only allows him to live here, rent paid with state money. So when the owner threatened to evict him less than a week after he moved in, his freedom was literally on the line. DOC calls what happened here chaos in Spokane. In a motion filed in Pierce County Court, DOC writes, "This has created a very dangerous situation, not only for the community at large, but Mr. McCusion himself. It was quite frankly absurd to release a sexually violent predator, knowing there is no sustainable transition plan from the start, and this was, in effect, setting him up for failure." So what about the rest of us? Knowing this housing is here, knowing it's close to schools, daycares, and businesses, and knowing that security is lacking at best, do the rest of us need to worry?
What we made sure happened, and what the city of Spokane made sure, is that their officers who worked in that area knew who he was, knew what his restrictions are, so if he does violate, we can be a little bit more swift in our response to his violations.
While everyone agrees David McCushin is not a typical sex offender, Captain Knowles says most offenders they supervise are just trying to live normal lives. Their message here is not about fear, but awareness.
I don't think you should undersell, the potential danger there, really. But on the other hand, the kids need to be aware, the young adults need to be aware that as far as the law is concerned, these people have the ability to go about and live their lives like everybody else.
While businesses surrounding the new Washington apartments have known about its inhabitants for years, some told us they'd consider moving away, worried about their customers, as security seems to no longer be a priority. We tried to talk to the owner and manager, but they repeatedly hung up, saying I'm trying to ruin their reputations. Only they could tell us what changed here, turning what was once a model for rehabilitation into a 4-story community concern. And David McCushin's caseworkers are actually so concerned about the security here, they'll be back in court tomorrow in Pierce County asking a judge to look into what's happening. It's the same judge who ignored their requests to not place him here in the first place. But even the Department of Corrections says McCushin is actually doing really well in his transition back into the community. He's following all the rules, but DOC says the guys who run this place have no business trying to supervise him. In downtown Spokane, I'm Melissa Luck, KXLY4 News.
All right, thank you, Melissa. So what can be done about this, especially given the fact that the apartment building we're talking about is within walking distance to Lewis and Clark High School and several daycares? Well, former State Rep Kevin Parker of Spokane says that the legislature needs to look into tightening rules on where offenders can live, especially those sexually violent predators. He says within walking distance to a school is simply too close, and he worries about the economic impact of such a facility in the heart of downtown.
So it depends what kind of city we want to create. If we want to create an economic, a vital city, if we want to create a city that people enjoy walking down and having fun, then having sex offenders in the middle of that city, again, probably not wise.
And we would love to hear from you on your thoughts. You can find the story later tonight on KXLY.